Hello, friends. Today we are talking about The Thing, the 1982 classic, directed by John Carpenter and starring Kurt Russell. The movie entails an American research station of 12 men, and they discover the thing, and they take the thing back to the research station, and all hell breaks loose. They have to make some decisions, and shit gets real. So, let's get into it.
Hey witches, welcome to Silver Screen Queens. If you didn't already put this together for yourself, the movie is about to be spoiled in this podcast, so strap in.
Why don't we just wait here for a little while, see what happens. That is the final line in The Thing. The classic movie also happens to be my favorite movie, actually.
Is it
Really?
It's my favorite horror movie.
Jesus Christ.
I'm so sorry. I'm about to shit all over it. I apologize.
Oh no, I will too. It's the worst, best movie I've ever
Aren't
seen.
like the worst movies the best movies?
Oh, I love the old Batman from like...
With what's his
Adam
name?
West?
Schwarzenegger?
Yeah.
No.
Oh,
Poison Ivy.
The
Batman
classic
Forever?
Legion, yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Excuse me, kissed by a rose on the
Right?
grave. I've been. No, I haven't. I would love that though. Can you imagine being kissed on the grave?
I'm actually going to quit the podcast and sing full time, obviously. I think that's really important.
Honestly, I will say that this movie is both. If you've never seen it, like, you must watch it. We're going to spoil the shit out of it right now, so we
Yeah,
apologize
also
for
welcome
that.
to Planet Earth.
Okay, guys, so why don't we just go around and introduce ourselves
Yeah,
to
I love it.
these delightful people. Okay.
Yay!
Blaine, why don't you go first?
Okay, hello. I am Blaine. I am a very grumpy witch who wears only black, and I am what you might call a book slut.
Oh my god, I love you.
I love you guys.
My
It's
book
also
slut.
a dream girl, by the way.
Yeah.
It's just reality in the situation.
Emily.
I'm Emily. I am our resident mom. I'm raising a tiny little gremlin. I eat far too many cupcakes, just like in the course
There's
of
never
life.
enough, though.
Right? And I am like a little bit of a pious vegan, but like with way too much cheese involved. So not bad at it.
I'm Stephanie. My motto is big eyelashes, pet dogs, fucking drink that coffee. That's
Yeah,
it. That's
there you go.
literally, this is the 3 tenets of my life. Also Prosecco and drag queens.
I thought it was just gonna end at fuck.
Yeah.
Yep, just fuck
like,
it.
and fuck.
My name is Stephanie. Fuck you.
Fuck it. Yeah.
That's it.
That's a good nod out. I might tattoo that on my forehead.
What, just fuck you?
Fuck you.
Just go fuck yourself.
I would have to get cut bangs though, and it's not a good. It's not a good look for me.
Just to dive straight into this movie,
Let's
and I
do
don't
it.
know why
Let's
I'm
fuck our
taking
shit
the
up.
lead right now. It's just because
I appreciate that.
It's because I could only hear myself. That's why. And I'm just like, I can't hear anything because I'm trying to make sure the levels sound good.
Damn.
So, guys,
pressure.
Ennio Morricone did all the music for this
Yes.
movie. Is that not
Yes.
amazing?
Because everyone assumes it's John Carpenter because you
Yeah.
hear Carpenter's
Right.
name in a
I think this
film.
is one of the only movies he didn't do the score for.
Correct. Yeah. Yeah. Which is insane because literally instead of lullabies, Henry listens to John Carpenter scores.
God
No.
damn
Yeah.
it.
Yeah,
You're the
Emily's
best mom.
son, Henry, is literally our tiny little ghoul gang cheerleader.
Oh yeah, he's
He's
a little
so
gremlin.
great.
And I love him, and he was shaking it down. in
He
a
was.
little
He's
video
learning
just
how to
then.
dance.
He
Not
can
well.
run. He
Well,
petted a husky.
I mean, I think he
did.
got that from his mother.
Oh, the inability to dance.
Oh, I mean,
100% is from me.
if I have a child, its version of dancing will be like, I'm just gonna get up and sit back down, and get up and sit back down. That's how I'm gonna dance.
Aggressively white.
Yeah, no, I mean,
He's apparently some shades of see-through.
there's only
He
he's
is
basically
Casper.
Casper
He's
baby.
Casper. Yeah, he's 100%
There's only
Casper.
2 ways I know how to dance: horribly and like 100% stripper.
Oh, right.
That's it.
Either
Like,
there's a
no in
pole
between.
or it's the hokey pokey.
It's either you're wearing clear heels or
Right.
you're
Yeah.
like
I-
Leslie Knope when they were playing the didgeridoo music at the Valentine's Day
That's
social
a
in Parks and
little
Rec.
Yeah.
My signature dance move, and my only dance move, is that of a stripper with vertigo.
Vertigo stripper!
That's if we make a B-rated horror movie, that's gonna be the name of it.
Vertigo stripper.
Vertigo stripper. Oh my god, it's like Vertigo, but it's a sequel, but it's just strippers.
Yes.
Guys,
Guys.
is that not just Vertigo?
It might be. Just to let everybody know, this is exactly what it's gonna be. It's gonna be us delineating into nonsense
Yeah.
as we discuss these movies.
Come along.
So wait, to just head back to this, Ennio Morricone did he did all the soundtracks for all the spaghetti westerns.
Yes.
I mean, like Ecstasy of Gold. My favorite horror movie is The Thing, but my other favorite movie is A Fistful of Dollars.
Ooh.
And that whole trilogy.
He did The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly.
He did The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. He did A Fistful of Dollars. He did A Few Dollars More. I mean, it's pretty legitimate. But the music is creepy and it's very dense. Like, it's almost like...
It's very staccato.
It's almost like when my curling iron gets stuck in my hair and it's gonna explode, but they amp up to that explosion.
Same level of anxiety.
It's so because you're like, am I gonna get my hair out in time?
Right.
Is this gonna be a YouTube video?
I know.
Loses all her hair.
We're all one mistake away from being a YouTube sensation.
Or bald.
Honey.
Or bald.
And then I love the way in the intro that they already bring in the spaceship. When the spaceship flies into
Beautiful.
the planet.
I love
so well
that.
done.
Yeah, and how the words, the thing burn into the screen. And
I literally wrote that in my inebriated note.
We all watched this in different levels. I was hungover. Emily was
not sober.
Not sober. Blaine was probably reading. Also,
You were drunk.
And drunk.
Maybe a little bit.
But beer drunk. That's
right.
That's like
Strong buzz. Still able to drive.
Strong
Don't
buzz.
drink and drive.
Also, I don't know if I was watching some torrented horrible version, but in the beginning when the helicopter's coming in, is it not shaky? No!
You're like, this is my favorite movie. So when I rented it,
Oh no, when I streamed it illegally on Putlocker, let's go back to 2010.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Oh my god.
No,
how's your
literally.
LimeWire connection doing?
My LimeWire, it's strong. But then I was watching the scene where the helicopter is coming in over the horizon of the mountains.
Right.
And it was crazy because I'm like, am I that hungover, or is this camera work like someone was jerking off while filming this?
Oh, I'm sure they were.
They're just like, yes,
that's a thing, right?
Bring the plate.
That's why it's such a high-paid position.
This is really gonna lead up into a lot of the other movies we're following.
Oh, for sure. Mm-hmm.
And also, guys, like, as we love animals, how do we feel about the fact that the dog scene?
Listen.
The amount of times I wrote "fuck this guy" is
Fuck this
ridiculous
guy.
too. Yeah.
Also, can we get into it? I promised myself I wouldn't say it, but I'm gonna have to say it.
Start with it.
Clark definitely wants to fuck those dogs.
Oh no,
Oh,
Clark has
100%.
put his dick in those animals.
It's terrifying.
Yeah.
He stares at them with a steely gaze.
Seriously. Oh, also, Clark
Yeah.
is the same guy who plays Stan Uris in the 1990 version of It.
Shit, son.
It all comes back to Stephen King.
Damn. You're so good.
Thank you.
When I watched that dog run, first of all, I was like, "You're such a good boy. I want to pet you."
Yes, just a baby.
Where's your warm little? And he's getting shot at. First of all, this fucking Norwegian, and also I love how the word Norway is apparently the slang for Norwegian.
Right. Yep.
On the plane, like
I mean, I think it is the code, like the.
It says Norway.
Yeah, like I think that's like a scientific thing.
It's
like
not slang.
No, but like no,
They're not just throwing slang up on choppers.
You know how they call USA USA?
Wait, I'm throwing slang up on choppers. Like, who are these people? I can't tell. Is it Japan or Japan?
Fit as much of Norway as you can.
It's like Norwa. But wait, this is like me standing in front of a car trying to shoot it and missing. And like, this guy has such a good opportunity to actually shoot this dog.
Although I will
Look
argue
ahead, bitch.
that huskies are like designed to have some form of camouflage in the snow.
Yes,
To
that
the
is where they
credit
were birthed.
of a dog murderer.
I just imagine that like huskies are just like popping out of the snow like daisies, like in Mulan. He's like, they're coming out of the snow like daisies.
Is that not how huskies are born?
Oh, I thought so. I thought that was the truth. So basically, what the scene is, the plane's coming in, the dog is running to the camp. Mm-hmm. It switches over to sexual Kurt Russell.
Listen, he and his beard can get it.
Oh, yeah.
Also, it took him a year to grow that goddamn beard. So you know he is just like the sweetest little young boy.
Did you do the research on that?
Oh, yeah.
She did.
Oh my god. Yeah, who the fuck do you think she is?
But also, like, I love the toxic masculinity where, like, he loses his chess game against a computer and then just pours his drink into the computer.
Wait, but...
Also, one quick fact.
Yes, please.
The voice of that computer is Adrienne Barbeau of the Fog fame, who was married to John Carpenter at the time.
And she was also
so she's
in
the only woman in this goddamn movie,
also in
and she's not even there. Carnival, yes.
Is she credited?
No, well, maybe, I don't know. But she recently hosted a podcast for Shudder called She Kills, and it's basically just interviews a buttload of women in horror.
Oh my god.
And it's all, like, it's so good. I highly recommend.
That's amazing.
But I'm like, okay, there is clearly, like, there are some significant amount of games in this facility.
Yes.
It's like a bar.
Like,
but at the
nobody's
same
doing
time-
shit.
Right, yeah.
First of all, what the fuck is the mission? Second of all,
Science.
First of all, and second of all, you're gonna break this goddamn game, and who else is not now gonna be able to play this game?
Exactly.
Right, this is
Just because it's your
isolating.
shack doesn't
What
mean
if
you
fucking
own the goddamn Antarctic.
skinny-looking Louis C.K. was deeper into that game.
Oh, exactly.
And you
and-
just ruined his high score, you bastard.
And also, it's like funny that bottle of fucking whiskey makes it through the whole movie.
I like to think it's been replenished.
Nobody else makes it that.
You
fucking
know they're
bottle.
stuck to the nines. If they're
Oh,
just
yeah.
jerking off and
They
playing
got
games
weed.
all day, they
All
got
they got is
all
weed.
the drugs and alcohol.
So, okay, let's be real. This poor stunned dog, I wish we could find out, like, information about where he went after this.
You know what really sucks is watching these movies, getting really attached to the dog, and realizing, regardless of whether or not they got killed in the movie, they're definitely dead right now.
Yeah.
That's
the
why I
worst.
can't watch Airbud anymore.
Yeah.
And Air Buddy or Air Buddy.
That's why you don't watch your butt anymore.
Not because it's
That
like
is the
a
exclusive
horror.
reason.
Wait, you know, all I can imagine when I think of Air Bud is a fake dog paw hitting a ball. Like, constantly.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. That's
Just
the
like
roll
fake
credits.
dog paws everywhere.
The
Like
whole movie.
they just had a bucket of fake dog paws just sitting
That's
somewhere.
a job. That's a job.
But honestly, the guy speaking when they all go out to confront. So okay, at this point we're going in there. We go in the facility. They have all these badass little nooks. We get a little tour of
All the nooks.
of the space, and then we hear the shot, and then everybody goes outside. And this guy comes out, the Norwegian guy, and he's like screaming at the guys and the dog. And I mean, obviously Clark's already like, I'm about to get laid from this fucking dog.
Hey, babe.
Oh, you are nice.
He
and soft.
doesn't like hesitate at all. Just goes right up to the dog and it's like, I don't know you fella, but we're best friends.
Yeah,
and
I mean, to be
I got
fair,
this
I do
peanut
that
butter.
too.
Like-
Yeah, oh, God damn it.
Kurt
It's
Russell's
like-
like, I swear to God, we brought more peanut butter than this. It's like, I don't fucking know, man. It's just gone.
Empty jars.
Stop
and
asking stupid fucking questions.
like,
Where's your chess wizard, asshole? Huh?
Someone opens up a jar. They're like, did someone stick a whole banana in this?
Yes.
No. So and then
Yes.
like I like how I cannot distinctively recognize German or Norwegian, but
Oh, God, no.
I just have a feeling that was not proper.
I just
in whatever-
appreciate McCready constantly correcting everybody whenever they're like, the Germans. And he's like, no, they're fucking Norwegians. Get
Also,
it right.
another
You
thing-
xenophobe.
It's like another thing of like literally who gives a fuck right now? Like who gives a fuck? This guy
Although-
shot somebody.
There is an avenue in which, like, because they're pretty, like, young looking Hyde. Dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He keeps trying to radio out and he's not getting anything back, presumably because the thing is, like, fucked
Yes.
up all of society. But there is some universe in which there was, like, war that broke out.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they were unaware. So
Oh,
I
yes,
would
yes.
argue that their nationality might matter. It's fine. Everything's fine. I didn't kick over a coffee cup with Madame Toes.
No, your feet smell so good.
That's a goddamn dirty
No, that's
lie.
true. But can we just also talk about Gary? So Gary's character.
Fuck Gary.
Wait,
Yeah, fuck
wait.
Gary.
First of all, not even say fuck Gary. Did anybody look at Gary's goddamn eyebrows versus hair
Oh,
color?
for the first hour of the movie, I denoted him as eyebrows.
He has
Oh,
the
yeah.
biggest white eyebrows and like much darker colored hair, and I'm like, can we like do a real bleach job that's like significant?
Is he also like somehow the sheriff? Because he's dressed like a sheriff.
I was like, did they just bring in a police officer?
Yeah,
Like,
They're like, hey, you're not doing dick. Go to Antarctica. It's 1982.
I was like, is
No
he
one
in
gives a
charge?
shit.
Because he's really got that ego going.
Right.
Like,
I
the
think
entire
Charles
time.
has like toxic masculinity.
Oh,
and
yeah.
old white dude.
Oh, and it's abound. Like, toxic
Oh,
masculinity
right.
abound in
That
this
is the
goddamn
thing.
space.
So
That's
wait,
what-
so when the Norwegian guy comes out, he's chasing the dog. He shoots whatever the fuck. Who does he shoot?
George.
He shoots George. So then he starts stomping in. Then fucking Gary comes and shoots his ass. Now, bitch, why can't we maim and not murder? Like the guy. Okay, I know the guy has a gun.
Although you rolled up with shooting a dog, I'd
Yeah.
murder.
Really? Well, no. To be fair, yes, me
Yeah.
too. But at the same time, like, I want to know what's going on.
And also, this is the same motherfucker that just bombed his own helicopter by accident. So he's not like
Yeah,
Yeah,
there's
the
true.
height of intelligence.
Also, I love the scatterbrain of like. So basically, the Norwegians end up trying to take a grenade to throw it at the dog, and then they blow up their own helicopter.
My
and
bad.
it's funny because they do that like, oh shit, I dropped it right here. Let me search in the snow, bitch, run away.
Yes.
Run.
What world do we think you're never gonna find it? You're never gonna.
And why does it matter?
It doesn't matter. Just run.
Like
Just run.
you clearly had a day. at
Like,
this
was
point.
there not training around
No,
grenades?
they're like,
at this point?
you pull it and then you see. Like, just, we don't even know.
It just picture this guy's day. So like everyone gets fucked by this thing, right? And he's like, okay, I guess I gotta go tell Americans about it and shoot this dog. And then he drops a bomb and he's like, wait a minute, I should really think about the welfare of this helicopter. No! That's not your prerogative
No,
at that point in
literally.
time.
Okay, so then they go. But the thing that kills me is movies that made us, and
Oh,
it was
yeah.
a scene about, they talked about Die Hard and Nakatomi Plaza, and how Nakatomi Plaza was actually, the helicopter scene was a miniature. And when I watched this again, and it's funny because I've seen this movie a million times, but watching it when you're taking notes is so different. And
Yes.
they go back to the plane wreckage. It is like they blew up like a Tupperware.
Yeah.
It's such a small amount of wreckage.
It really
and they're
is.
just like pushing it with their feet. I'm like, bitch, this is not real.
This is an aircraft.
This was a giant.
Yeah, yeah.
This is not possible.
No, it's the whole thing's a little fucky.
And then
I'm sorry. Let me.
go.
So, while I'm watching this, all of these men rush out at the sight of the Norwegians, and like they're barely covering themselves. I'm like, you're in Antarctica.
-40.
I know nothing about Antarctica, but you should really cover yourself up
Yes,
a little
I
more.
feel
I
like there
bombed
is-
out pretty
Yeah.
hard this
I
whole
feel like
movie.
there is no consistent temperature there. Like they're either dying
Exactly.
or they're temperate.
It ranges between -40 and -100.
Yes.
I like that you did that research.
Right? Well, that's what they mention throughout
Okay,
the movie.
okay.
So at one point in time, Kirk Russell's like, it's Kirk. Yeah, okay, that's his name.
Kirk.
Russell.
Kirk, Captain Russell.
Right? Beam me up. So at one point he's like, it's -40 outside, and then at the end of the film he's like, it'll be down to a -100 within hours. So
Just
peak.
take care of yourself. like
yeah.
fucking hell.
No, and
get
also
a little mask.
Also, the gloves those kids are wearing is like the little
Target.
cotton.
like
yeah.
mittens.
Yes.
Like a goddamn mitten.
You could text through those.
Yes.
bitches.
Yeah, it's a fucking text
yeah,
mitten.
yeah.
Okay, so I love then the scene we switch into the guys getting stitched up who got shot. What's the name again?
Yes,
George,
and more
George.
toxic masculinity
Wait,
where Doc
it's
is like,
kind of-
oh, really? Are you gonna cry?
You only got shot a little.
You only got grazed, but wait, I love how it's like his upper thigh, and I'm just like,
Oh, it's very
get it.
sexual.
I'm like, how many dicks have these guys sucked?
Oh my god, you
Oh, we
know,
shot all
of
you
them.
know
There
how it
is a blow bang happening at
Oh
any point
man,
in
and
that
I want more of
situation.
that. This goes back to there's
movie I
no
wanna
character
see.
development in this goddamn movie,
No.
and what we really should have seen, first of all, is learn everybody's goddamn name because
Yes,
you don't
oh,
learn
see?
you
No,
learn
You learn-
nobody's name.
Also, their nicknames, it's like a pirate ship.
Yeah,
It is.
that's
Like,
basically
hey,
what
McCready.
it is.
Hey, McCready.
Get those names, at least do like just a soft orgy to like really get us into the vibe of what's happening.
There is a movie called The Thing 3 because there was already essentially a sequel, and it's just The Thing because it's like their dicks. The Thing is just dicks all flying
Is
all
it
over the place.
really? Oh my
no,
God.
it should be.
Oh yes,
I'm
yes.
saying
I'm
it should
sorry.
be.
I was really excited
Yeah,
about to
no,
go home and
I,
search.
I know. I wish so.
Can we just for a moment talk about how the fact that they claim that this is not a remake?
Yes.
The Thing 2.
No, the thing.
like this movie.
The 1980s, the thing. It is a remake, but they claim that it's
How
not.
is it?
comes
What's it a
from
remake of?
what was it? The 1950s version.
It was the 1950s version. It was like the thing from another world.
Yep.
Oh, I did not
Based
know
on
that.
the same source material.
Yes.
Oh shit.
Yep. Yep.
Well, yeah, and it's like it's all based on the same novella written in the 30s called "Who Goes There," I believe.
Yes.
Oh.
And also, fun fact: the original Thing movie from the 50s is what's playing in the background of Halloween.
No.
Doug
Yes.
and I were talking about this last night.
Yes.
Yes.
What?
Yes.
So there
So
is
it
a
all
John
comes
Carpenter
back.
nod.
Yeah.
So I like how Windows is wearing sunglasses inside because it's probably high as fuck.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
and
you have to be.
and then Wilford Brimley is like, why can't we reach anyone? And he's like, bitch, we're in fucking Antarctica.
Welcome.
We can't reach anyone. And also, fuck you, Wilford Brimley. Like, and then
Yeah.
that guy Palmer is just smoking the biggest blunt you've ever seen in the
Absolutely.
world.
That's the way God intended.
And then I like how there's nowhere else to put a dead Norwegian body than on a ping pong table.
Yep, obviously. Also, Wilford Brimley is throwing out the eat shit and die look a lot.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And that is the look he gave me 3 years ago at Monster Mania Con.
I
Were we
don't.
there?
No, so Doug and I were at Monster Mania Con and we were like back meeting a bunch of Jasons. And
Yes.
Wilford Brimley's like 1,100 pounds now. That's not true.
Is he
He's
dead?
huge. No.
Okay.
He's huge. He's massive. He's
Okay.
diabetes. That's
Right.
like what he's
Yeah,
known
right.
for.
And the problem is now he just can't stop diabetes.
Right. He can't
Oh,
diabetes
oh my God.
So he's
I'm leaving.
in a motorized wheelchair.
Oh my god.
And Homeboy takes up the whole hallway, the tiny little hallway that goes to the autographs. And I, like, no one had been like, clear path, because sometimes the celebrities come through, they like, clear
Oh,
you out.
sure.
This had not occurred.
Oh.
So I'm coming down the hallway, and Wilford Brimley, like, stops his little motorized wheelchair and like looks at me and shoots me this biggest eat shit and die face I've ever seen in my life, to the point where people behind me were like, like it was, and then I like tried to just dissolve into the wallpaper. You know,
Yeah,
like, I don't
yeah, of course.
This
Listen, fucking Wilford, goddamn 111 million pound Brimley.
And he has a big walrus beard now.
Oh god,
It's really
cuckoo.
That's a lot.
But, so I like so respected him, and I also in that moment wanted to slap his dick.
Yeah.
So it was just like this weird juxtaposition. And then as he like scooted away, Doug, my husband, was like, "That was the best gift you could have received."
The fucking eat shit and die
Right,
face
is the
Brimley.
eat shit, because that is his whole game.
Oh, yeah.
Is just the eat shit
Well,
and die face and saying,
and-
"I'm British."
And he
That's
throws some like. We'll get into it later, but I have some notes that are like, I love the pivot of this character as time goes on.
He's the only one that has some sort of development, and it's like
I love him so much.
So I like how they then want to go in the plane. They want McCready to take them to the Norwegian site.
Right.
And I like how Gary is like, quit the griping, McCready. It's like, yeah, let's go fucking die in a hurricane, blizzard shit in the fucking Antarctic.
You have no idea what you're going to come in contact with.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Meanwhile, this OG husky is still lurking around.
The Huskies still are lurking.
Yes.
And
Clark
nobody's
is,
like, hey, what about this husky?
Clark is like getting the music set.
Yeah.
He's putting a flower, some flowers in a
He's
vase.
lighting candles.
So then I love the danger rotor. They like pan to the rotor of the plane, and there's like going back to signs on a plane because I'm really important. This is really important to me. And it says like danger rotor. It's like, okay, I mean,
Thanks.
I don't know. It's like danger. This is a plane. Okay, thank you. I appreciate the very clear signs here.
It's like putting flammable on a bomb. You're like, I would hope.
Oh yeah. And then this is where the movie starts. Is they first pan to the dog under the ping pong table.
Yep.
And he just is looking around, and this is where you first start to feel like what is happening.
And there
with this
is
dog.
some like grumbly happening with the dog.
There's-
He's not growling,
but he's definitely, he's definitely othered.
Yes.
And then we go into why this is the only reason. It's not the only reason. I love Stevie Wonder, but Superstition.
I know this is the most random fucking song. It's the only like
It's the only
unoriginal
actual
song. Yeah.
It's the only actual song.
I was like, this is fantastic. Are they playing it because one of the only black men is in the in the scene?
Yeah. It's gotta be, and he comes by in his rollerblades.
Yeah.
But I love his character though.
I
do
love
love his
him.
character. But I love that song. And that song sets it up so well in this movie.
It does put that creepy vibe out there.
It's creepy, but it's also like it really gives you the sense of the time.
Yeah.
Like we know it's the 80s. Like this is the song.
1982.
And the bar set up there is legit. I would go to that bar.
Heck yeah.
That bar looked fun as shit.
I mean, it's too cold, but yeah.
No, it's too cold, but look at that. You got 12 dicks, old gross dicks, except for Russell.
Shower situation too.
Yeah, there's no
Not great, man.
There's no.
It can't be good.
No one's talking about where's the potty.
Hygiene is not a thing.
No.
There.
That's why they don't need coats. They're just in their own grime.
Yeah.
Oh God.
You know what's great for a podcast? Vomit.
Yes. This is the scene where after they pan, the dog is roaming the halls, and we don't know. We know now. There's like 8 out of 10 people have a beard, so you see that the outline of the person in that room has a beard, but you cannot tell who it is.
No.
So this is the setup, and this is the thing where with this movie, what I love is you really, even if you watched it a million times, I don't think you could ever figure out the flow of infection of who this thing.
I mean, we know the impetus is the dog. Right. We just don't know from there, like
who gets
when
taken first.
When Clark is like alerting everybody to what's happening later, is he already infected? And I think the most important thing to realize is throughout the entire thing, they don't know themselves if they've been infected.
Right. Because when they're doing the blood test later, they're like,
Yeah.
Well, there's just so many interesting things. So now they land at the Norwegian place.
Yes, up in smoke. Literally.
And it's like burning. And then I love how McCready's like, "Hey, Sweden," and I'm like, "Yeah, like that's really this is the way. This is the way to approach this. So like just casually, it's on fire."
Right, whatever happened there wasn't great.
It's like,
Yes.
And the way that as they start walking through the facility, the axes and the blood.
Yeah, I love that scene.
I love that scene.
Yes.
And the way they shoot it, like they're shooting it through like POV through
Yes.
a broken window. So cool.
And all the icicles coming down is like just creepy as shit. I could not stop thinking about that Office quote though.
What?
Of like Michael wanting to look directly
Yeah.
at the icicles, and Dwight's like, I always tell you, Michael, take a step back and look at them from the side.
And he says no, but I like the way they look.
And I'm like, Michael.
And it's like
The whole time, that's
There's
what I was
gonna be
thinking.
Office quotes interspersed in this.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, that's gonna be a 40%.
But
Probably.
then, guys, like the blood trail then becomes the brightest red,
Can we-
shitty cornstarch blood I've ever seen.
Exactly. Also, can we talk about, they find the man who's apparently committed suicide or died by
And
suicide.
His blood is like.
His blood is frozen, but
He
also
almost decapitated himself.
the rest of the building is still sizzling. How is he already frozen? So
Yeah.
that's a continuity
Yeah,
thing there
that's
where I'm
weird.
just
Yeah.
like, that can't be.
And also, like, how much fucking blood was in his body that
All
not
of it.
only there's blood that still looks fresh, and then there's blood that's frozen solid, like a trail, like a
That's true,
4-inch circumference thick.
Yep.
How is
blob
there
of blood.
wet blood? And
Especially
also,
especially at the source, it's frozen.
could it be that
Yes.
it's infected blood? So
That-
it's alive?
Yeah.
I don't think so because in order, I mean, also okay, the way that they burn shit and they immediately use the fire extinguishers. I'm like, okay, I don't think things burn that
Right,
quickly.
let it simmer, homie.
Let it fucking
Yeah.
burn,
Your
dude.
pizza's not cooked yet.
I don't know if it would be infected blood because then.
That's the only way
He
I can
wouldn't
see
have
it
killed
not
himself.
being an
He
air.
wouldn't have killed
Well,
himself.
unless he's like, oh shit, I'm infected.
But
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
at that point it's already done.
I don't. That's the question,
the thing,
though,
you
isn't
can
it?
never know.
That's the question. You don't know if you get infected and then later it takes over your body,
Yeah.
or if it just like, I don't know. I don't fucking know. The
And,
whole
and,
thing's
and then
crazy.
the way that they I love how then they're like, ooh, look at all these papers. He's like, what does it say? He's like, it's all in Norwegian. It's like, no
Shocker.
shit. What? This is in
They were
the
like, maybe
language
we
of
should
the-
take it back with us because that'll definitely help.
Because then we can
We'll
use
learn
the
Norwegian on the way.
we can use the computer program. We will talk about that later to fucking figure out what it says.
Minecraft.
Oh my god! And the dig site. This I really find this an interesting analogy nowadays for like all the global warming nonsense, like
Oh,
everything
yeah.
that's happening.
For
It's beautiful.
sure.
Because it's like they're like, oh my god, this thing thawed out, and like it's almost like yes, like these million-year-old viruses that are thawing out now that people are getting, like the fucking plague. Like it's
Yeah.
just really interesting.
Right. Oh, for sure.
I like the way that they don't go inside the spaceship. And I'm like, wait, so they bring back like little tiny pieces of metal that are not interesting?
Exactly.
And they don't go in, and they actually go down.
Yes, because they
into
take
where
the time to
spaceship
jump
is.
down there.
Is that a matte painting? When we like come up on the spaceship, is that a matte painting?
I'm pretty sure.
I think it is. It's fucking beautiful.
It
Just
is.
take a moment to appreciate that matte painting. Matte paintings should exist more in film, and I'm such a fucking snob for saying
You
it.
are.
But they're beautiful.
What is
dude.
it? What are you talking about?
A matte painting.
What
so
is
when
that?
they don't want to build a set, they do like a massive painting of.
Oh.
If you look at the scene in which they come up to the UFO that was in the credits,
Yeah.
and it has this like dewy, misty thing that were used a lot in Star Wars,
Yeah.
which is why I sound like an asshole when I say it.
Well, I love that.
But yeah, it's a way to get around building sets, but in an artistic way.
I mean, it might have very well been.
I think that's what they did for the house on Niebalt Street in It.
Yes, I believe
Because they didn't, I don't think they actually built the house. It was just a matte painting.
Now we're talking about
believe so.
original It or new It?
The new It.
Okay.
Also, the original Dracula was
Oh,
a
I can
Bela
believe that.
Lugosi's mansion was a matte
I
painting.
believe that. They bring the fucking crazy body that the Norwegians tried to burn, because the Norwegians had basically every shit went down there. They tried to burn
This
their
like
own
human
bodies.
centipede.
It's like a weird human.
thing.
It looks like kind of like a
That's what
shape.
it looks
Yeah,
like.
it is.
It
I'm
has
just
those,
doing the wave. Well,
it has those
Not the
two
wave.
faces, like it had started, and so you see the human and the mutant part of it. But what I like is that plane they took was not that big. I'm like, where the fuck did you fit this massive fucking gooey
There's no
burnt
way.
thing? And then again, they
Someone
bring
had
it
to
back.
like put it on their
Yeah.
lap.
I'll hold it,
They're
guys.
like, let's draw straws.
I'll take it for the team.
Who wants to hold the blob of bodies?
And the special effects on that body.
Oh,
are so
oh,
fun.
And
The
I
effects
love
in
that
this
it's all
film.
practical. It's not
Yes.
like obviously in
Yeah.
the 80s they
It's like
weren't
a
really
bunch of KY.
CGI people or anything like that. So it's all practical effects and it's absolutely stunning.
They must have slathered that thing in so much KY jelly.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
They're like, it's basically a sex toy at this point. They're like, let's shove it up our asses later.
That's
guys.
why they brought
How
it
much
back.
do you
All
think
the
KY
arms.
paid for that
KY was
promotion?
like, sponsored by KY. And then that poor bastard Blair has to start cutting that shit apart.
Ah.
And I like it that, they're like not that perturbed.
Yeah, nobody is freaking out that they found this fucking alien-looking motherfucker.
Nobody.
And then he's just cutting it open. They're like, cool, business as usual.
There's a whole set of normal organs. And
I do love how cavalier he's like, so here are the internal organs of a human. They're like, yep.
And they are just go back to smoking weed, and they're like, okay, great, we have this fucking mutant body. This is great. No problem at all. Let's just keep it in the house. The dog continues to wander.
Yes. Nobody is concerned about the goddamn dog until it's too late.
Right.
But the following
no one's connecting dots. That's why there's not a woman on this.
Yeah, because the woman would be like, why is there
in a minute? They'd be like, lockdown, fuck you, shoot him in the face, this is over, we're going back to the U.S.
Burn the whole fucking place down.
Burn it down. Burn it all. It's like, you know why? Guys, this is why. Because everything looks like a spider. We would burn it down.
Yep. For
sure.
sure.
Spider in your car. You have to give it away. You can't never use that car again.
You have to.
Okay.
I would like to mention that Stan Winston actually worked on the special effects of this film uncredited.
Who is Stan Winston?
So Stan Winston is like the heavy hitter. He did Aliens, Predator, Edward Scissorhands, Jurassic Park, all the big shit. But he was uncredited in this because Botten, the original special effects guy, got like a crazy fucking case of pneumonia. And couldn't finish the effects.
Aww. So he wanted to take it and help him.
So he did. So he was totally uncredited. It's one of his few works that are uncredited. And then in the practical effects category, they actually used a double amputee in this film to make some of the special effects.
No way.
More believable.
They built a mold around it?
Nope.
Oh, so they actually used a person.
A human double amputee to do the scene where he's like trying to resuscitate that guy and his like torso.
Oh my god, that scene when we
that's actually a double amputee.
Oh my god, that's so
acting.
Wow.
Nuts.
That scene.
Hashtag icon.
This next scene though is the most. That's like I can't handle this one. This is the dog scene.
Oh my god.
So this is when but like the way. The dog. I mean, the dog should get a fucking award for acting.
All
in
the
this
Oscars.
Movie. He just sits and he's like,
take Leo DiCaprio's Oscar.
He's like,
give it to the dog.
So Clark is like, welcome to my bedroom. With the dog
Please join the other dogs that I have
abused.
abused.
My other girlfriends and boyfriends, and I will come see you later when everybody's asleep. So he puts him in there, and I like how when moments later you hear all the dogs screaming.
Yes.
He's like, weird, I guess I should keep walking.
Wait, no, he just walks back in really slowly. Like, not running. Do you know how I hear the dog, like, if he's eating something that I don't know what he's eating, I'm like, get him over here!
Oh, yeah. You go from, like just normal human to lion tamer very quickly.
And you're like, I'm gonna stick my fucking hand down your throat.
Yep.
And it just makes me so sad because then he starts, taking over the dogs. He's like spitting, like, it basically, he's like ejaculating on the one dog. He's like spitting like goo on him.
Right, which is that like some kind of acid erosion?
I think
I'm
this
sure.
jizz.
Yeah.
This thing like changes the way it attacks people a lot. Like it'll be green jizz,
which is
purple
genius
jizz.
because you would think it would need to have multiple ways of attacking to survive.
Adaptability.
I literally, as he was like throwing up on the dog, like the mutant thing, I was like, stop throwing up on him! Stop throwing up on him!
Go get a drink!
And I was like, throw on the carpet! And I was like yelling at Clark, like I'm literally yelling at Clark, I'm contouring, and I'm like, go, run, get them, help them!
Right. Grab a dog. Although I will say, kudos to a couple of dogs, because when he does eventually open, a few dogs do escape.
Yes.
But you don't know if they've been infected, and then later that comes back to bite on the butt.
But then I'm like, then McCready's like, child, let's go get the flamethrower, and I'm like, I love that there is a surplus of flamethrowers.
Oh yeah. If you ever go to Antarctica, pack at least 9.
You need at least 17 flamethrowers for a 1-year trip
Not
to Antarctica.
nary a soap dispenser in sight,
no,
but we've got flamethrowers out the ass.
We did not see any hand sanitizer, but we saw a shit ton of flamethrowers.
And like, so when I felt like this was the most like a Japanese like horror movie of like all eyeballs coming out of the thing, and it looked like a fatty chicken thigh. Did anyone think that? Like,
I think everything looks like a fatty chicken thigh, but I'm here for it.
Oh my god, it does though. I'm serious. Like, it looked literally like when you buy the chicken thighs that you're gonna cook like in Chinese food if you're making some Chinese food, and that's what the thing's hand looked like. It looked like a
that did look like a little chicken leg.
Yeah, I get that.
And part of me was upset because I was like, man, I'm really hungry.
Also, this is the scene where we kind of get the inkling that the thing that has infected these dogs is taking the form of whatever it eats.
Yes. It's a shapeshifter.
This is the first time.
Yep.
And then I love that the Jumanji-like flower shape
Yeah,
that comes out.
that's beautiful.
Honestly, like, I feel like so many other movies took this. Like, later on, there's a scene where it looks like the Stranger Things creature with the
Yes, the
open
Gorgon.
flower.
Yep.
It looks like that.
It does, the Demogorgon.
And I like that. So Childs, then they're all staring at this thing. No one's screaming.
Yes.
Which is crazy. Everyone's
Right,
just
they're
like,
just
what?
business
What?
as usual.
Like,
They're
I'm not
like,
gonna scream
this is
because I
normal
would
in
look like a
Antarctica.
pussy.
Like, you remember last week when I watched it on you masturbating? That was gross. This, not a big
This is
deal.
not a big deal. They're like, wait a minute. I thought dog pussies look different.
And the expert is too worried to
He's
say
not.
anything.
He is currently busy. But then he does start freaking out because they shoot the dogs.
Yes.
Because they're seeing that the dogs that are in the snare of the thing.
Yes.
And I do think some of it is a mercy kill. It's like when
Yeah,
you
you
hit a deer
have
with
to.
your
No,
car,
you have to.
which is fucking terrible.
No, you have to. But the thing is, then Child sets it on fire for under 3 seconds, and
Yes.
they extinguish it. I'm like,
That
wait,
was
this
very
is-
much adequate.
That's plenty of time. That's like me putting a straightener to my forehead instead of my head. I'm like, that's pretty much the equivalent of what you did to this.
Done. Done.
I'm like, my forehead
not
is a
gonna
little
do
bit
it.
charred. Okay. Wilford Brimley, why are you even bothering to do an autopsy of this? Like, in my opinion, you should just leave
Also,
immediately.
did they bring like a coroner along?
Yeah.
Was that the situation,
I
or
think
was
he's
he
just
just
a
like a
doctor.
scientist?
It's
He's
Doc.
a
He's like an
science
all-purpose.
base.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So he's a
So
therapist.
he's in no way
He's a murder specialist. He is a coroner.
fucking
diabetes
He's a fucking
specialist.
Western shooter, shoot 'em up style shooter.
Mhm.
The noises he makes when they take the thing and then they go to the room and they start doing the autopsy. And
Oh,
then
definitely
the
a sex
noises he
noises.
makes are like,
It's the sound of him eating macaroni and cheese. It's like, or he's just like.
Just Jabba the Hutt dying.
or pizza.
It's trying
Pizza the Hut.
Pizza the Hut. Pizza the Hut.
He ate himself
Ate
to
himself
death.
to death. He ate himself to death. I feel like Wilford Brimley might do that. But
Oh, that might currently be happening.
His
We might have to publish a retraction to all this shit talk.
And his analysis of it is like spot fucking on for having.
Yes.
This is like
There's
the
no
first,
information.
This is like the second time this has happened.
So
But he's
Blair.
like, he's like taking over the thing, and then like this is everything that's happening.
Yeah, so Blair puts together this beautiful graphic video using the game Pong to display how the thing has infected the dogs and now it's infected us. And he concludes that there's a 75% chance one or more of the team are already infected. And if the thing reaches civilization, that the whole world will be infected within hours.
Well,
on doing a basic autopsy on something that they have no idea what it is.
And later, so when he does that later on, before he goes to his breakdown mode, I'm like thinking, what is this shitty like Space Commander? Like, who developed this software that can take any situation and then give you like random
How
facts?
long till Armageddon?
Yeah.
In this situation.
How does
Siri.
one make a
27,000
creme
hours.
How does one make a creme pâtissière?
Right.
Let's give you the instruction.
Also 27,000 hours, actually. That's funny.
And then but after the autopsy, they watch the found footage from the Norwegian wreckage.
I love that
I
scene
love
so
that-
much.
I
Yes.
love because this is one of the first movies that. It's not one of the first, but it's still we're in the heyday of this kind of horror films, and they're using the found footage thing, and like even Kurt Russell later on when he's recording himself talking about like,
Yes.
I don't think any of us are gonna make it out alive. Like I love that.
That's so
part.
great.
Mhm.
It's so much fun.
It also gave off a culty vibe.
Yes.
Norwegians,
And
which
I was like,
really
I want
enjoyed.
more of that.
Yes, yeah. Like you don't know if it's like a religious sect or
Yes.
something that's happening.
And-
Also, just baseline, the camps are one and the same
They
Yes.
when
absolutely
they're
are.
shooting. So, and I even looked at it. That's legitimate. They were the same camp.
They just
so,
used the same
Yep,
camp for
they
both.
just shot on the same camp.
It's
which
funny
is
because I
God
make
bless
them
America.
do you think those guys are those guys that we see all the time, like right across the street at the same place that was built? Like this is another Hilton.
we have that chair.
When they pan to the map, there's like a map they found, and there was like a word like.
Oh,
it
yeah.
said
There's like a
drowning-
Goonies style pirates map.
Yeah, it was like Drowning Maud, and I was like looking up. I wanted to look it up, I didn't, but I was like, what the fuck? Where is
Drowning Maud.
this? DRONNINGMAUD.
That sounds like a Scottish version of Flogging Molly.
No, and then so
Poor Maud.
Right. Just having a rough day.
and then Kurt Russell puts on this really adorable cowboy hat.
Oh,
Yes.
it's the I'm Happy hat from Pharrell Williams.
Right.
Yes!
Yeah, because I'm happy. And wait, so then they go look at the spaceship.
They're like, what could go wrong? Let's go in. It's fine.
And I love that there's a scene that comes quickly here where Childs is like, do you believe this voodoo bullshit? And they're like, you are looking at it.
You were in a spaceship.
No, that was when they were in the spaceship. They were doing an autopsy.
Oh, yeah.
And then Childs is like, do you believe this voodoo bullshit? Because then Wilford Brimley is like, this is what's happening. We're all gonna fucking get eaten by this shit and die.
Right.
And she's like, do you believe this voodoo bullshit? It's like, bitch, you fucking saw these organs.
That is like people will be like, do you believe in
Magic.
vaccines?
In
And I'm like,
Ma'am?
do I think there's less polio now? Sure do.
Also, this is around the same scene where McCready is just like, I just want to get up into my shack and get drunk. And I'm like, yes, Mac.
Yes, baby.
Yes, me.
Yeah, he's like, I can't handle this anymore. I need some Zen.
Blaine's like toasting, like,
Yes. Me too.
Also, I love how this scene, what is the guy that is the rollerblading cook? What's his name?
Oh, Knowles.
Knowles. So Knowles, literally, at this point, he's like so oblivious to everything that's going on. And he's just like, who left your disgusting underwear in my kitchen?
No one cares to involve him. They're like, he's probably gonna die. That sucks for him.
Yes.
Back to this body.
But he's been watching all the autopsies and the bodies coming.
Was he?
He was in. They're all in. every
okay.
scene. That's also what's interesting. They're all, almost all of them are always somehow in the peripheral
there's
vision.
dick to do around there.
There's
oh my
like,
God.
Someone's talking.
Also, this big ass kitchen, no one has eaten a scrap of food this whole time.
No. Not important.
I wonder what they eat.
Well, they're all eating Pop-Tarts. A bunch of dudes.
Also, I love that based on the blown out underwear Knowles finds in the kitchen, they're like, well, the thing must tear it open. It's definitely not explosive diarrhea on a camp where we don't eat healthy food.
I was like, yeah, it's not me. That's not mine.
It always keeps being a shitty sweatshirt, and there's no name on it. That's what it is. Like, they're always like, whose sweatshirt is? And the thing is obviously smart enough to be like, I'm only going to use the Hanes brand, and I have no name on it.
It's generic, fine.
So basically then we get into the computer program part. We get into the shirt is found, and now
I would like to just briefly mention that scene of like the Pong program is very similar to the opening of Teeth.
Yes.
I wonder if that's a call to that when they made Teeth. If that's a
that's
call
so funny
back to the
because
thing.
our next episode we won't say what it is. But how do we do
It's something to sink your teeth into.
Everyone mac and cheese noise. So honestly though, then we have the first character to go now. So the first character to go, so Mac and Fuchs are talking, like he's so uninterested in what's going on right now. And the alien gets Bennings.
Yes.
And that's that scene. This is the, I think, shittiest special effect of the whole movie. Because remember, he gets Bennings is in the closet, and he's like, I have to get some stuff, like, let me get
As one
some
is,
stuff. And alone with this mutated corpse. And,
it starts to like wiggle under the U-Haul tarp.
Yeah, we see the blood, some little shit fucking comes
Yeah,
down.
just
Out of it.
goopy.
Goopy's jizz KY.
Yeah.
And fucking attacks Bennings.
Yeah.
And then Bennings, already arguably not the most attractive man in the world.
I root against him the whole movie because he looks like Louis C.K. after a
Yes.
He does.
Yes.
So I'm just like, fuck you. I hope you die. And then he does. And I'm like, I'm not upset
His
about
character then looks like a big
very
purple
cathartic.
pumpkin covered in weird veiny robes.
Yes.
As the thing is
So
eating him.
Louis C.K. now.
Yes, exactly. And then he runs out of the building, and they're like, "Oh my god!" And then I don't know how McCready gets the thought to pull the fire alarm. Like, what even happened? That he's like,
That
oh
might have been like something he was scoping out earlier. Like, if these bitches start fighting, I'm just
I'm
gonna
gonna
pull the fire alarm.
Yeah.
Like, all junior girls to the auditorium immediately. Immediately.
Get to that arm cast.
Yeah.
It's fine.
And then so Bennings runs outside. He has the only thing that is not mutated are the giant dick fingers.
Yeah.
That I'm like,
They are dick fingers,
they are.
aren't
I'm
they?
kind of like, okay.
I was like, why am I aroused right now?
So it's like, wait, how about we don't shoot him yet? Hear me out.
You're like, wait. Clark's like, wait, guys, wait.
I got an idea.
Quick! Ah, damn it! High five. Wait, he's dead. Now he's dead. Wait, now he's dead.
Ooh.
Okay. My name is Clark.
How long does it take?
My
for
last
his body to
relationship
get
was
tense?
very rough.
How long does rigor mortis take for these dick fingers to get tense?
Oh shit!
Real quick question.
Actually, never mind. That might work in my favor.
It's called.
So then Blair.
A lot of practical effects happening here, folks.
So then
It's
they fucking kill him. They set him on fire. Everybody goes back to the business because like whatever,
That's
back to business. Blair then goes fucking bananas.
He's isolated himself.
No, he kills the dogs. That's when he goes.
Oh, that's
and
right. He kills the dogs,
He gets
and he's
axe.
like like freaking the fuck
And
out
then
in the
he's
opera.
bashing
Yeah.
all the stuff so they can't communicate.
And poor radio guy is just stuck in there.
Windows is just stuck in there. Yeah. And then this is the scene where I fucking love this. This is his Walker Texas Ranger should come back. He does this fake, I'll kill you. And
Yeah.
he shoot him up style fake. Does that fake pullback like
yes.
he's actually shooting, but you know he's not shooting it.
He needs a splatoon.
Like yes, he needs
in the background.
And then I don't know why he had to behead the dogs. There's other ways to humanely put a dog down.
Here's the question though: even if any of the dogs are infected, he didn't do shit.
Yeah.
Like just killing them isn't helpful.
Exactly.
You need to kill it with fire.
Yeah, because killing them. The thing is, and also, even if he killed them, like, okay, I guess the point is, if he killed them, they can't escape and run anywhere.
That's
so
true.
I guess
you're right.
But so it's like he's
stopping the
preventing them
spread
from
of
being
infection.
infected.
Because he also fucked up the helicopter in this time.
Yeah, and then the helicopter got fucked.
Blair's just living his own life.
Just
you know?
then every one of you. Don't wash your hands after you poop. I've seen it. Da.
So then they get the idea, this brilliant, which actually, like, I'm like, oh my god, it's almost like it's scripted, this amazing idea about the blood test. Oh my god, what if we just test our blood with fire?
Yeah, I'm like, this is where I was like, what? Blood potions.
Oh,
let me get my candle juice.
And Blaine's like pouring some red wine right now. Everybody's
like, listen, does anyone have any jasmine?
Yes.
I know that's a long shot, but
crystals. Just a little ice crystal.
And
then
then
rose quartz, I think it might really help diffuse the situation right now.
Then they
Up
open
the sexual tension, that let's be right.
They open the fridge. All the blood is destroyed.
Oh yeah. So
So-
bags of blood.
Bags
Empty.
of blood, and I'm like,
So
this
no
is
more blood
hot.
potions.
Clark's like, all my jerk off serum is gone.
Again, if they had one lady,
This would
she'd
not.
be like, "Listen, I got some tampons. We'll make our shit work."
Yes.
I got some blood, everybody. And then
Our cycles have all synced, so
Right,
we
it's fine.
know
Yes.
we've got it on
11
lock.
days, and we will be ready.
And I think this part now, what I really like about this movie is, if you take the special effects out, I think a horror movie should be able to stand without any effects. If you took anything out of the effects out of this movie, the
Absolutely.
paranoia is
Yes.
strong enough to keep it going.
Yes.
Like the fear and the like really heavy, like everything is just heavy. You feel
Yes.
heavy watching it.
I feel like the first time I watched this movie too, I was like more pretentious because I was younger, and I thought that I was like reaching for art house cinematic, like low key things that don't exist.
No, just take it for what it is.
No, and I the whole time I was like, oh, this is an allegory for like
Yeah.
prison
Oh,
and
shit,
going
yeah.
crazy in the boredom. I was like, oh, that's what this is clearly about, the prison industrial complex, yada yada yada. Clearly that's fucking bullshit, and I made all that up in my
I think
head.
I'm gonna still write a thesis about that.
It is
Right.
interesting to think about how boredom plays into it, though.
Yeah.
Because you're wondering the whole
They're
time,
going
have they
mad.
gone insane?
Yes.
Is it too late for them? Because they assume that's what happened with the original Norwegians. They're like, oh, they went
They
stir
went
crazy.
crazy.
That's a logical conclusion in
Right,
this situation. So everyone's assuming that Blair just went fucking crazy, even though they've all seen alien
Well,
bodies.
and
Yes.
also the thing is, Blair is 100% right.
Yeah.
That's,
Oh, yeah.
I think everybody's trying to be like,
They all
no,
reach
this
that
isn't gonna
conclusion
happen.
eventually.
They
Well,
do.
yeah.
And if you think about it, if you were in that situation, like your brain would go into automatic denial
Oh,
as
the
well.
same. You're
However,
right.
but because we're women, we're like, well, everything's fucked anyway, so let's just do what we can.
Let's get
Also,
drunk.
this is around the time and when I think it's Knowles, he's like, well, we just gotta wait it out till spring, and
Right.
and I'm like, hello,
I don't
sir.
think-
No.
Honey, this happened in like 12 minutes.
Yeah.
So I don't think we're gonna make it.
And
to
also,
spring.
this is Antarctica. Do you think it's gonna get like 85?
I know,
Like,
and this
spring's
spring.
not that different from winter. Where you are,
Yes,
darling.
exactly. It's like it's gonna be spring. Oh, it's still
Isn't
literally
it
the
just
same.
Isn't spring just dark all the time?
Yes.
It's worse.
So wait, now we can't even see.
We get to a 28 days later scenario. Cool. Great.
So the scene where then Kurt Russell is in charge now. He has
Yes.
taken control, and this is one of my favorite quotes, and I wrote it down because I love it. He said, "I know I'm human. This thing just wants to hide inside an imitation, but it's vulnerable out in the open. If it takes us over, there's no more enemies. There's nobody left to kill, and then it's something like that."
Yeah.
I love it.
It's great.
I
Yeah.
did a voice to text. It didn't work, but basically he's like saying it's like once it'll if it takes over, like it's going.
Right.
Like we're everybody is at risk. I don't know why they burn the blood. Why do they burn the blood?
'Cause it might be
Because it may
infected.
have been infected. Because they
okay.
assume that the alien is what destroyed it, and they don't know how it spreads.
So they're just
They don't
like,
know if
let's
it's
get
just
rid of
contact or what. Sorry, I
Also,
keep fidgeting.
no, you're great. So this is around the time they had just isolated Blair and locked him up in a shack.
Yes.
Yep.
And Blair is like, watch out for Clark.
Yes. Like, and Kirk Russell was like,
And to be fair, But then we know.
So is Kurt Russell the Thing at this point already?
No, he's not.
But
do we know
We
that?
know he is. They
no,
tested his blood.
they don't know.
We tested his blood.
Oh,
they
okay.
don't know, but
But-
they
yeah.
tested his
But
blood.
is it conceivable that like
Oh, no,
he's
he did
the
it
one
right then
doing
and
the
there.
test though?
No, but he did it right then and there.
I guess you're right.
But
Okay,
so
he's
then-
not the Thing yet.
They go back to Blair, and before they do the blood test, and he has already constructed a fucking noose.
I know. I was
He's
like,
ready to
Blair,
go.
honey.
He's literally looking through it like, hey guys, like through a noose,
And
he's just
nobody
like,
addresses
hey,
it.
man.
Nobody's like, oh, hey, nice news, buddy.
There?
And
You decorating already?
Yeah, they're like, okay, you're just gonna kill yourself. You're just gonna
Home.
You're just gonna do that now? Okay, well, okay. And he's
Well,
like, I want to
bye.
go inside. I want to come inside now. And it's like, bitch, come on. Like,
Honey.
that's like me being like, I'm only gonna have one bowl of rice cakes.
Right.
That's it. Like, I
Right.
won't have any more. And then I ate the whole bag.
Like,
Like, come on.
Emily's doing like these crab hands.
Hand crabs.
Finger crabs.
Which
And
That's what
fingers?
glasses are, right? I've never seen
Yeah.
them.
And then
I do wear glasses.
there's the character. Who is the character that his name is Norris, I believe, is the guy that ends up Norris. Yeah, so Norris is in the he's back in the place. McCready is coming back, and they're all coming back, and then Norris is like, he's like, come on back, guys, like something's happening. But then you see him like double over in pain. Do you think? Because he ends up
he
being
definitely
infected.
was.
Oh yeah.
So that's interesting because it's like there's
There's
like,
a connection.
We're getting all these like hints that like the complexities of how it takes over the body.
Yes.
Like, because it's like, he's obviously he's infected, but like he's still able to like maybe there's some part of him that's like still.
I think your consciousness is the last to go. My theory is that there's two ways that the Thing takes you over. A, it just like kills you, and then it becomes you, like skinny Louis C.K. So he was just like, fuck you, I'm the Thing now, I'll stop tentacle hands. And then there's the second way, which it more infects you like a virus and like slowly takes you over, like paralysis almost. And I think that maybe your consciousness is less to go. And that would make sense evolutionarily.
Absolutely.
Like that's how you survive. That's the whole like line of like the warmest place to hide.
Yeah. Well, then I love that the guy yells, "Supply window!
Supply
window!" Then
and he's like, he has the motherfucking keys.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, bitch. So then there's the standoff, and Norris gets shot.
Yep.
And Clark
Which is
gets
such
shot.
a bummer.
And Clark gets shot.
Yes. Bummer.
I
I care less about Norris.
Yeah.
Clark I care about a little more.
Some fun dog dick.
This is the best scene in the whole movie, in my opinion. So the scene with
Inarguably,
the autopsy. Also, stop autopsying people.
We know that just leads to trouble.
Right.
Oh no, wait! They're trying to save his life. That's what he's doing.
Yeah.
He's doing
The
the
paddles.
electric paddles.
Yeah, he's doing the
And
paddles.
then, okay, so this is where you said the
This is the
amputee
double
comes in.
amputee.
So fantastic.
Yes.
And the amputee comes in, and then this is like the most fake looking.
But it's
beautiful.
wonderful.
So great.
It's beautiful.
And then the spider head. That's my favorite scene.
Yes.
It's incredible.
It's my favorite monster. Really,
Aww.
he's my favorite. My
That's
dog just
really
left
sweet.
and left. He's like, I'm not your favorite
It's like,
monster.
excuse me, Mom.
Hi,
How
Mommy.
dare you?
Don't touch Clark, honey.
You're safe with us.
The way that the spider walks behind them as they're all looking, it's so
I
funny.
know. Because, like, how
And
are you
they're
not
like,
fucking
beep,
following
beep,
this?
beep,
damn
and they're
thing?
like,
Yeah.
you've got to be fucking kidding
You're
me.
like, that's the bridge too far.
Yeah.
That's
Way off.
Hold on.
Everything
goddamn
into
it.
this point, you've been like, yes, this is digestible. Spiderhead. Nope. We have.
Also, does anybody else think that, like, the fucking spider guy looks like Donald Trump?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I was
yeah.
like, oh, that's even, like,
I just
no.
feel
I
like
think it's just a loaded
Kill
place.
it. Kill it.
yeah, punt it.
Yes.
I love that when it roars, it's like.
Yeah.
It's like me in the morning. I'm like,
like a poo poo.
Yes.
And then I love that like the noise. There's like all these little sound effects, like Ennio Morricone.
Yes.
Like
Yeah.
Yes,
I
it's
loved
very
that.
bad.
So,
bombs
yeah.
dropping.
even like when punches land, it's like,
yeah, it's like,
yeah,
Like-
very comic book style.
And then the scene. So then they're doing the blood test, and then I love how they like wrote. Like, you know, in this moment, you would be the most bundle of nerves.
Like,
there's
let's label.
perfectly written
Beautiful
labels.
handwriting.
McCready, Copper, or whatever, whatever, fucking
Bashful,
Gary.
dirty, sleepy.
Sleepy, stupid, asshole, rapist.
So yes, those are the 7.
And then obviously Palmer, so everybody, the only one who is Palmer.
Right.
Yeah.
And Palmer is the one that looks already the most like the creature.
Yes.
Before he turns into it. And then he turns into the brightest red poopy tomato
Yeah,
monster
he
I've ever
does.
seen.
Also, I wanted to point out, you know, when they bring up blood testing and like the nerves around not knowing who's infected and everything, I was like, could this possibly be a metaphor for the AIDS epidemic?
Ooh, that's
good.
I feel like there's so many ways to spin this movie.
Oh, absolutely.
Because it's there's so much uncertainty.
Yes.
Like and even at the end, you don't really know what's going on.
No, and I think that's the beauty of
Any good
a
horror
good movie
Yeah.
is leaving it to open to interpretation. It's what you fear most.
Yes.
Yeah, and then Windows gets fucking eaten like a
Yeah.
bitch. By
I was
that, that's
sad.
the scene where it looks like the Demogorgon.
Mm-hmm.
And then Gary's like,
I just wrote in my notes at some point like, oh,
Gary threw a bitch fit.
Gary's
Right.
like, I just would not like to spend the rest of the winter tied to this fucking couch. And it's like, bitch, this is not.
You are the
important.
least of
Everyone's
anybody's
had a day.
worries. Yeah.
Like
everyone's
everybody's
had a bad
dead.
day.
And then there's who's left. We got Gary. We got Knowles.
We got Doc.
We got Doc. No,
and
no, no.
Clark's is
We
still
got-
there.
Yeah. No, Clark's dead.
Is he dead at that
Clark
point?
has been shot.
okay,
Clark
I
was shot in
apologize.
the head.
Yeah.
Clark was shot when he rushed McCready.
That's right. You're wonderful.
So then,
Oh yeah, I wrote in my notes. They come up with a new blood test, and man, does your flamethrower never work when you really need it?
yeah, it works. It works at times when you don't need it.
Right,
Like,
just
like,
arbitrarily
light a
lighting shit
fucking
up.
blunt, probably. They're like, oh, Palmer lit all those blunts with the flamethrower.
Yes.
Kit.
Yep.
And I like so then they go look for they go back to look for Blair or like they go through like Blair's like the cabin where they put him.
Mm-hmm.
So then they
Bitch
find,
is gone.
right, and they find the underground tunnel. And I'm sorry, unless Blair literally like the time frames of things are not clear because he built a spaceship and he wasn't the thing for that
How?
long.
I think he was the thing the whole time.
Emily.
Yep, I think he was the thing the whole fucking time because when he destroyed the helicopter, that's when he had to.
You think he was the first one that
Yeah.
went in the room and it got
Not
him first?
necessarily the first, but one of the OGs. I think when they locked him in there, he was infected. I don't think he necessarily knew it yet, but I think that's why he made the news.
But the
because
thing
he's
is-
like, if I am infected, I have to remove myself.
But-
He was the most logical.
But the
about
thing
it.
is, does it make sense with him? Wouldn't he want to have self-preservation, or maybe it was all a farce? I mean,
he was the
broke
first
all the
one.
shit.
He was
broke
the
all
first one to
shit.
give up self-preservation. He was the first one to accept the fact that they're already dead. Because he fucking destroyed the helicopter.
So you
but
think-
then the alien in him took over and was like, let's use that helicopter to build me a UFO and get the fuck out.
I actually think I wonder. I kind of think it. I don't think it was Palmer, but I actually think it might have been. No, I mean I don't even know. I don't even like. I can't. I've
Right,
like,
it's
seen this
tough.
movie so many times. It's so hard to put
It keeps
together.
you guessing every time.
But then I like when they're down there in the cave with this fucking spaceship that somehow got built in 10 goddamn minutes, and then they're setting up the TNT. They're gonna blow shit up. And apparently there's a surplus of TNT on that.
Yeah,
range
what?
of
Oh, which
space.
Kurt Russell almost killed himself filming
Really?
this movie because he did not realize he was working with live dynamite.
Yeah.
How is that
Stick.
not a thing that's announced?
How do you
at
not
the
say
top?
that?
It's gotta be a
live
memo.
dino.
Yeah.
On movie
Oh,
sets,
dinosaurs! I love that.
on movie sets now, you have to like sign a waiver if there's a lit candle.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, no,
right.
did you write that from Office Lady?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Well, and even like I'm
Another podcast we love.
like even so like I'm in SAG, so like when there was ever like video shoots when there was smoke, you get paid $200 extra.
Yeah, if you
just,
step
like,
in
for
water,
being
you get
around it.
money.
Yeah, it's crazy the shit that you get money for. But he literally was like blasted back by the
I think I
guys
do
and
remember this.
almost died. Yeah.
And then
He's like, maybe I won't do that again.
well, also it's like, oh my god, I feel so bad for the thing. God, it's terrible. This is so mean of us. Why don't we just let it be? Let it be.
Hey, maybe it's our
Fuck that
time
thing.
as
Right,
a
deserves
race.
it.
Yeah.
At this point, we really
Also-
fucked shit up.
I love the scene where then Blair's hand. So Gary's down there with them, and the Blair thing. He comes up and he's like, "Bow," and he sticks his hand in his face, and then it like just
Yes.
sucks into his face.
Yeah, he
I was like,
literally sticks
I
his hand in
loved
his
that
face.
so much.
Yes.
And I love the fake skin. It's really good. Like
Yeah.
good effects.
Yeah, it is.
And then I feel
It's like a swim cap.
yeah,
Good
it
skin,
is.
good
Stick it in
skin.
your hands like foreskin. Stick
Oh,
your hands
well,
like a turtleneck.
honey.
Too much.
No, we were talking
No.
about bestiality the entire
Oh,
episode.
never mind. No,
so-
sorry.
It's weird where we
Not
decide to draw a line.
We draw the line at that. Foreskin, no.
We don't draw a line. We draw a Fibonacci sequence. You kind of like bounce back and forth.
And then he's setting up the TNT. The thing, this is like Tremors stole this shit.
Oh, yeah.
Where it like is under the ground and all of a sudden it's apparently
Yeah,
subterranean
it's
now. Before it didn't give a shit.
Well, it's because that's where the fucking UFO was.
That's true,
So
it
it's
does.
been subterranean this whole time.
And then I like how it comes up. It's like, It's thanks to TNT.
It's like folding cards.
Yes, yes.
And then I want to know, like, bubble wrap was part of the sound effects for this.
Oh,
like,
absolutely.
I was trying to figure out all the sound effects, and it was very funny.
That's a task.
That dog loved
I pay no shits to sound effects.
No,
I love listening to
unless
sound
it's
effects.
very obvious that it's bad.
I
I'm
can
like,
always
why?
hear
Which I think is the point.
Yeah,
I can always hear when it's like crinkly paper, and I'm like, I know that
I
sounds
feel like you do have a
crinkly
good
paper.
ear for that.
What? I do. I love
You have
crinkly.
a very well. I mean, just for like those details in general.
Oh,
You're
yeah.
better at like picking that shit out.
And then I love that the final scene with the thing is a montage of fucking everybody who's died. Basically, it's got the dogs. There's a bunch
Oh
of
my gosh,
eyeballs.
it was so fantastic.
It comes out. It's fucking going nuts. And then
That's how I want to die.
Oh yeah, and
Eyeballs
then
and dogs.
and then McCready blows the shit out of it, throws that last TNT, and then the only person left. We kind of like lose track of some people. The only person left then is him and Childs. And they
Who's the true MVP of this film?
Seriously.
I feel like Childs is like the most does not give a fuck.
No,
I wish it was from his
he was
perspective,
ready to just
honestly.
blow fucking heads off.
Yeah.
Like this is it. This is where we go. And everybody's like, whoa, Childs, whoa.
But I think I was trying to imagine myself in this movie if this were me, if I were alone.
Oh, I would have died immediately.
Everything is on fire, and McCready's just walking out of the fire, and he sits, and he has this fucking bottle that made it through the whole goddamn movie.
This man is drunk the entire time,
protects
and yet
his
he
life.
is. Yeah.
This is why he's protecting his butthole. He's like, oh,
Well, that's why
Harry's
drunk
been-
drivers survive accidents.
Yes.
They're all loosey-goosey.
Oh, let me survive. The thing can't get into me if I'm plastered.
Maybe that's like the inoculation.
Maybe it's like being drunk.
Oh, that's
saves
a good
you.
point.
right that it is just dense amounts of alcohol that it's like I'm more of a tequila guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't go over the whiskey.
and then so it's just those two left, and then the alcohol bottle's there, and then that's the line where they say, I don't know, let's just stay here for a while.
Yeah, because they're both suspicious of each other.
But at the same time,
Being
like
infected.
they shouldn't be, because they know that if you're the thing, it's happening.
Yeah, but there's a slow burn.
Yeah.
Because you don't know if Blair's been a thing the whole time. So we don't know the level of intelligence, and I keep calling back to Kurt Russell playing chess.
Yeah.
Like you don't know how far ahead the thing is thinking.
I just think it's so cool to think about this movie. It's a mystery forever. Like you will never figure it out.
Well, and the new one is a prequel, correct?
Yeah.
About the
It's about the
Norwegians.
Norwegians.
Okay, I have not seen that one. Have you guys watched it?
I did not like it.
Really?
It's not good.
I do want to say, I think my favorite lines are at the very end, whenever Child says, "How will we make it?" and Mac just says, "Maybe we shouldn't."
Yeah.
And I'm just like,
That's so
yes!
Also, it's like, yeah, bitch, take one for the fucking world. How about that?
Yeah.
good. Right.
Selfish
It's
man.
it is interesting though because there is that innate fight or flight, like protecting
Yes.
your own life in us.
Yeah.
I mean that I don't know how hard that would be to turn off.
Yeah.
In that situation, especially when you're on that much fucking adrenaline
Oh, yeah.
that your body's like, I'm gonna fight. Or
So,
flight.
like, overall, what do you guys think about this movie? This is,
So-
like, my favorite horror movie.
So I want to get into it.
Yeah, dig
I
in.
have just a little tiny tangent. I hated this movie.
End of episode.
And cut!
I did not give a flying fuck at a rolling donut about any of the characters because there was, like I said before, there was no character development. So I was really like thinking like, why is it so shitty? What, did they not have a lot of time to write? Like, did they only like have a certain amount of time to film? No, like they had 60 days to film this, and they wrote the movie. They started writing the movie 5 years prior, but then it switched hands so much from writer to writer.
That's what happened with Prometheus.
Yeah. And then finally, I guess it comes down to they really wanted to focus on the effects because the original source novella was very slow moving. There wasn't a lot of action. So they wanted to drive home the action and the effects in this. And I think that's where the character development got lost. And so that's the reason I don't like this movie, because I don't care about anybody except the dogs.
Yeah.
And so I feel like in order to care about what's happening in a horror movie, you really need to have developed characters at least enough so that you feel a loss when there is one. Like in Deep Blue Sea, when LL Cool J is dragged across the water, I bawled my eyes out when I was 7 years old because I loved
every
him.
time.
Yes.
You know what? I still love LL Cool J.
Oh,
Yes. He can do whatever he wants.
I will say, my take on this movie is I typically do care about character development.
Yeah.
But I think for me, I stylistically love everything about this movie.
Mm-hmm.
The way that it builds, the way that it's stylized, like everything is...
It hit its niche hard.
It
the
hit
aesthetic.
what it was trying to do hard. It's sort of like why I love fucking Tremors. Like, I can't tell you why. I just love Tremors. And I actually feel like the development of the character is the thing. And you do get him. He does develop.
That's true.
Yes. You're trying to... Because also the thing is this. I think what's interesting is you... Like, there's so much confusion about what the thing is and how it works that almost if those characters develop, it wouldn't even mean anything because you wouldn't know. Like, you're not ever getting a
maybe
sense
that
of
was
who they are.
intentional. Yeah.
So it's like this just...
Ubiquitous, kind of like.
Yeah, but I just think for its time, like, it took so many risks with those special effects.
It paid off handsomely.
I felt like it's a fun movie. That's for me, that's
great.
Yeah.
So I feel like you have to, or at least I have to, think of horror movies the same way I think about music. So there are the songs that are your favorites because the lyrics and the music are good. And then there are those songs that you like just because the lyrics are good. And there are some songs you like just because the music is good. That's why I like this movie. Yeah. The lyrics were garbage, but it sounded great.
Yes.
So, like, there was no classical development. There was nothing good, but something about, like, the horror nerd in me, like, fucking rejoices over this film. Yes. I wish there was more women. I wish it passed, or any. I wish there was some kind of Bechdel test that it passed.
Yes.
And even, like, I was talking to my husband about this movie, and he's also a big horror fan. And
what does Doug think about this movie?
He loves it.
Yeah,
loves
good.
it.
Yeah,
and he's like, are you going to count the fact that there's no women against it? I was like, obviously, that's a tick against any film, unless it's a historically accurate piece about a certain sect of people.
None of this would have happened if there were goddamn women in the movie.
Well, and he was like, well, would it be realistic for women to be on this mission? Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, in the original, there were women.
Exactly. It's not like it was set in the 20s.
Yes.
Because I do understand there's a historical element to these things. But to not have a single female on this mission kind of seems far-fetched to me. I think that they try to avoid a sexual element, but they got a lot of sexual elements.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, all the dick sucking, dog dick sucking.
Yeah, well, they made dick fingers.
There's a bunch of dildos everywhere. You know they fucking...
Well, and just like, you don't cast Kurt Russell and not think that he's gonna come off as sexy. It's just not a thing. And Childs, oh my god, has the most symmetrical face I've ever seen in my goddamn life. Beautiful.
He's also aged gorgeously. Such a sucking hunk.
I like if we just like put up a photo of like then and now, like it's like it where it's like the kids and then the adults and it's like Wilford Brimley looks like a fucking the thing. Like literally now he is the thing.
That's actually the end of the movie. That's just
it's just that Wilford Brimley.
That's the twist.
There. It's diabetes.
Totally factual.
Okay, so rating. Let's go rating.
Sure. Ooh. What is the rating scale for this? 5 out of 5 whats?
I'd say
screams.
Yes.
Screams, flamethrowers.
Flamethrowers.
Okay.
But although is this gonna like collectively carry over?
Well, let's do it each time. Each time.
Let's do different one each time.
Like, is it a molar or is it a...
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Incisor.
Lateral incisor, yeah.
I almost said protractor.
I'm basically a dentist.
Okay, so out of flamethrowers, I'm gonna give it 5 out of 5 flamethrowers.
Jesus Christ. Okay. I don't want to go after that.
You don't have to.
No, I will.
But you don't have to give 5.
I'm gonna say 3.5.
Okay.
3.5.
And I'll give it a solid 3 because while I do think it was garbage mostly, I do appreciate that it's fun. I do appreciate the effects and just the overall impact it has had on the horror community. Yeah. So
well, and that's something to note on its own.
It's a cult classic now.
It's a cult classic.
Critically, it was a fire dumpster
and a lot of that
critically it was a flamethrower.
Yeah. Right, literally. And a lot of people blame that on E.T.'s release, happening kind of at the same time, and also heavy on special effects. But it there's no question you can't go. I'm wearing a Thing shirt right now. You cannot go to a horror movie convention or anything like that without people talking about the Thing.
But in saying that, I loved watching this first movie with you guys.
Yes.
I look forward to watching then your favorites
next
time. I love you guys.
I love you.
You smell delightful.
That's a lot. Thank you for listening to Silver Screen Queens.
Bye-bye.
We'll see you soon.
We'll see you.